Thank you guys for joining the Producer Pod. And today we have a special guest, Melo Relo.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
It's good to be on the podcast.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's been, I guess we've known each other for years, but it's just kind of like recently that we're sparking this kind of collaborative effort and seeing kind of how our minds are meeting. It's really awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. The majority of the time we've known each other have been through like less than ideal means.
Yeah.
But it was cool that yesterday I was filming content and you just kind of came out of a crevice. I don't know where you came from.
I was in a crack.
He was like in between a couple of walls, just submerged.
Yeah, I was just spending my Sunday afternoon. That's what I usually do on a good Sunday.
Yeah.
If it's like really sunny outside, I just try to find a really nice groove.
Yeah.
And
it's
between
nice
two
cool.
buildings, yeah, it can be cool. Good place to make cheese. So that's kind of like what I'm going for a lot of the times.
Yeah, you didn't offer me any cheese.
Yeah, because I'm still making it. It takes years of working.
I wouldn't want to have any like cheese that wasn't fully.
It needs to be fermented in a certain environment, and so it's like it is a little warm.
Yeah,
and so
I like nice and ripe cheese.
What is your favorite type of cheese?
I like brie.
Brie.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know brie?
I've heard of brie.
Yeah, brie's good. I don't know. It's kind of bougie cheese.
I think Gouda is kind of bougie. Like I like truffle Gouda.
Like truffle, like the mushroom.
I didn't even know I just found that out yesterday.
Don't get me started on truffle, dude.
It got me.
White
twisted,
truffle
man.
is like the yeah, it'll do that to you.
Because I didn't realize that truffle was mushrooms, and I've been against mushrooms my entire life. I'm sorry, mushrooms, but like it's not that I don't have I don't see the benefits of mushrooms. It's that I am scared of the texture of mushrooms.
They're bouncy. Yeah, they're kind of rubbery.
Slippery.
They're kind of slippery in your teeth. You're like, you don't know where it's going. Yeah, it's hard to track, and yeah. I'm a huge mushroom fan. On pizza, truffle. So my like go-to bar food, if they have it, is like truffle fries.
I have heard of those.
Sauce you dip, dude. Oh my god,
dude. I hate this beep. This beeps. I gotta get this beep out of there.
Is that a microwave beep?
Yeah, that's a microwave beep.
I was literally about to say this is kind of a music thing, but we could totally this is a cooking podcast now because I can just get into it, dude.
And I learned actually, it's funny. So I mean, I'm probably gonna edit this part out anyway, but I did realize the AC was on really loud the last episode, so I do need to turn
it's
that
off.
Too.
That AC right there. Oh yeah.
One.
Yep. Yeah. You've heard. Huge. Oh, well, you didn't come over to my place, but my AC is insane.
It's really loud.
It's a box in the window that just goes like the whole time. So
I was wondering where that sound came from in your music, because you have like this nice hum in all of your music. No, I'm just kidding.
Hum identified. Yeah. I didn't even know it was there.
No.
I make shitty music. That's basically lo-fi.
It's hum. It's hum diggity. Like
it gets you humming.
Yeah.
Hum-worthy.
But so you just recently moved into Bethesda.
Yeah.
From where were you living before?
I was like in Rockville.
Okay. So just like this little skip.
Aspen Hill. Only somewhere. It was, I don't know who this is going to reach as an audience, but we're
everywhere. It's
we're all
worldwide.
Suburbs outside of DC. If you're from the DMV area, Rockville, just a little bit north of Silver Spring.
Okay. And do you want to say the address? So
yeah, so it's actually no, but yeah.
You have a home studio?
Yes.
So what does your home studio consist of?
Horrible acoustics.
Okay, humming.
And then a really nice acoustic, a guitar.
Awesome.
So there's humming. She's tapping your shoulder.
Yeah,
that was
she
so
likes
cute.
to like. Excuse me, sir. I'm not getting attention right now.
This is like, am I on camera? I don't want to be on camera.
She does. No, she loves the camera. But she's actually my PA. She's my assistant. She'll tell me
mic
like,
isn't on.
Hey, ask him about the treats.
What's your stance on Friskies?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a guitar rack which has a bass, electric, two acoustics actually. I have one that's small, like a nice small
like
one.
Like a ukulele vibe?
Well, I have a ukulele.
Oh,
but I have
cool.
one that's like in between a ukulele and like a full-sized acoustic. It's kind of like a plunky. It's like small, so I can like pick it up and like write on the go, whatever. But I like sometimes it has a specific sound that's nice. It's just small, and kind of like got a banjo-y sound. So if I'm ever feeling kind of folky, I kind of write on that.
Interesting. Yeah, like the timbre of an instrument really can define like how the music is gonna feel.
Right.
So like painting it with a different just a shape of a guitar or like the strings itself can really change the vibe, which I think is really interesting because I didn't understand those nuances getting into music of like sound selection, and for me I was like, oh, like I don't like the sound of like back in the day I was really into like classical music and like I play clarinet. She's just loving this. But yeah, I mean I did just get like this is the first time seeing me today.
Oh,
and so
okay,
she's just giving me extra love because she's just like she needs to catch up. There's a meter of love that she has.
Yeah, for sure.
And it needs to be filled before she can go back to like being.
Oh, this is Katniss hour.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
This is welcome back to Katniss Talk. This is where we just talk about Katniss's habits and all that is Katniss.
What are your vices, Katniss? What do you get into? Are you a catnip fiend?
No, she is a booty rub fiend.
I hear you piss on clothes that are left on the floor.
Yes, I mean she's kind of like
scandalous.
She's a caretaker in a sense. She'll let me know when I'm doing something wrong by peeing on it, and yeah, she's not.
She has a lot
picky.
of liberty with the piss, though. She's like, this lamp, it needs to be at least 2 inches this way.
Yeah, she will pee on it if I don't move it. So
yeah cats are assholes. But
this one isn't.
No, she's sweet. She's sweet.
Yeah, and her pee smells good too.
Oh my goodness! That's kind of.
It tastes good. It tastes.
It tastes great. Actually. Wow.
Yeah. No. How else do you think I stay young?
Every time I see this guy, his biceps have grown in a significant level. So it's like that's what it is.
It's cat piss.
It's cat piss.
You heard it here
first. She pissed on your arm. She's like, these aren't big enough.
No, I'm doing injections.
Oh, is it the gasoline injections?
No,
like the
Kitty,
Russian?
it's
piss injections?
Yeah. Piss injections. It's really...
Damn, she's like the fountain of youth.
I'm very fragile. I'm like one squeeze away from just losing everything I've built.
You like avoid needles, like
and hugs.
No hugs.
No hugs. No
Too
needles.
Too much pressure. Just
yeah.
You got a cat piss soaked person and a bicep-less guy.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be that.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's one or the other. So I pick piss.
It looks good on you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, cat piss looks great on you, dude. You rock it well, man.
Looks good.
Yeah.
That's a good looking dude right there. He probably has the piss right over there.
You could sell it like in jars of her revitalizing.
Yeah. Anyway,
like because it's like yeah.
But anyway, what I was saying was sound selection.
Sound selection's hard, man.
Yeah,
I'm still bad at it. Like I spend like 90% of any studio session just dialing in a tone.
Sheesh.
And then I try to save it as a preset, but I oftentimes just forget to do it. And then like I just have to go back and like do it. But yeah, dialing in, and I think that's everything because like a lot of like the best songs, right? They're not overwhelmingly complicated. Of course, there's like Jacob Collier, and I mean he doesn't make like Billboard like top 10s, you know what I'm saying? But like the
he
best
could
music,
probably.
Yeah. And I'm sure he's worked on some or whatever.
Oh yeah.
No shade on Jacob Collier. I love Jacob Collier. He's insane.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen his collab video with Daniel Caesar,
I think I have.
Where he's doing a Daniel Caesar cover, and then Daniel Caesar comes out on stage and sings with him. Killer video.
That's actually a cool idea, though.
It's so sick. And he just thinks in music. He's like he's fluent, right? That's like a thing you can say about music as a language. You can be fluent in it. You can speak in music.
But doesn't he have like a background in the theory and really learning that, and then he's kind of branched off on his own?
Yeah, I'm sure he had like I'm sure he was kind of predisposed to loving music.
Well, like, do you think did he actually?
But yeah, no, he's like a master in theory.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
he went to school in Berkeley. I would only assume.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that going to school is what makes you good at music, because it's like you do see a lot of these musicians that did go to school, but they are limited by what they've learned because they've like been put in a box, so they don't have that like the ability to innovate as well. Like they just know how to recreate. And so I think what really defines you as a producer or an artist or someone who's like pushing the boundaries is being able to be aware of where you can take things that aren't just within those lines.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's why like sound selection is so important. That's not something you can get better at it. You can kind of pick up on tips, but like it's not something you can learn really. So that's why I was gonna say like I don't think like being an insane musician, in like the technical sense means anything about maybe your success as a musician or an artist or a songwriter, because it all comes down to like just generally speaking like your like musical aesthetic and tone and stuff.
Well, what do you think makes what is your definition of like a successful artist then?
Yeah, I mean just like doing it. Like if you're just able to do it in a way that you feel good about and you can do it consistently and you're not going to like get tired of it. Like when it comes to success, like yes, there's always like you want to make a living off what you love. That's always an aspect of it. I'm sure someone who's, you know, making music and loves the music they're making, but like can't afford to do it full time or has a job that prevents them from doing it as much as they want to. That plays into it. But I just think like not being hard on yourself and making it consistently is successful as a musician. Because if you get burnt out or you put expectations on yourself to like put out some certain level or achieve some like statistic, then you're always gonna be chasing like the next level.
I think that's a good point too. I saw this Ryan Tedder interview, and a lot of his interviews he's saying, you know Ryan Tedder?
No, actually.
The singer of One Republic. He's got like 1 trillion streams.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no, One Republic,
like
yeah, for sure.
Insane, not just in One Republic, but
I haven't listened to One Republic.
He has.
Like
I'm not exaggerating when he has 1 trillion streams. Like he has worked on so many songs, hit songs throughout like the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Beyonce, like all these really big, like he helped write Halo, like all these other songs that we all know.
Yeah.
That are so popular.
That's badass.
But
that's so badass.
But I've been watching because I really want to learn from people that have been in the industry like that, and like their perspective and what they had to go through to get to where they are. And he even says where he's at right now is that like every week he feels like quitting because it's just so difficult to navigate this environment like this where music is at now is completely different from where it was when back in the day it was all about radio. It was about good music, good songwriting. And then now it's less about that, more about the who's pushing the content. Like it's about more of a content based consumption. It's less about the music and more about how things are perceived.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 things. One, I find it funny that, I don't find it funny, right? At every level of success, there's always like the next thing and wanting to sustain that. But it's like, if you have 1 trillion streams, like, don't worry.
Yeah, but like, it's easy to say that just based off your accomplishment, but it's like a billionaire. It's like they never think they have enough money. That's
what I'm saying. So like, every level of success, you'll always like want the next thing. But it's also kind of funny looking at someone in that position who, having 1 trillion streams is one thing if you don't even get to take the majority of that money home. Sure, any artist that's worked on songs that isn't theirs will know that there's royalty cuts.
Oh yeah.
But as the singer of One Republic, he's doing fine.
Yeah.
And he will continue to do fine, and his kids will do fine.
Yeah. But
I don't have that much sympathy for someone who's like in that position, putting so much pressure on themselves. Like, dude, just look. Here's the thing about music. The more pressure you put on yourself, the harder it's going to be. Like, just take some time. Learn how things have changed. Just kind of like get back into it naturally. Don't stress, you know?
But there is that pressure. But also, I think that's an important thing to talk about is the mental health in being a musician.
Yeah.
And how, like, huge. You can easily go down like a way, like an alleyway.
Sponsored by BetterHelp.
Yeah. Cut that out. Cut that. Until they pay us.
Yeah, right.
We would love some funding.
Yeah, BetterHelp.
Yeah, please.
Get more ethical and then hit us up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Wait, yeah, sorry. I had to just.
Is that like an expose? Like I
had to throw that in there.
Scoop?
BetterHelp is You know?
I don't know it actually.
Really?
I don't really buy into it.
I want to get into that, but I want to finish up what we're talking about. Yeah. We can get into BetterHelp as well.
Sure.
Maybe not. Maybe cut all this because you might want they offer a lot of money for people, but I have a friend, I just scored her podcast. I did the outro for her actually. She's sick, Snapped, season 3.
That's the name of the podcast?
Snapped, yeah. It's about Greek life and actually like the problems within it.
Huh.
It's about my friend who disaffiliated from her sorority because basically she was bullied online and a bunch of other crazy stuff happened. She gets into it.
Oh.
Sick podcast.
Okay,
and I scored it. And she actually was reached out to by BetterHelp to get sponsored, and she actually denied them. So
wait, it's just they reached out to her.
They reached out to her. And she denied money from them, and they were gonna give her apparently like BetterHelp money.
Money isn't that great anyway.
Yeah, well, that's what she was thinking. She's like, this podcast is about ethics, and I'm not gonna align myself with a company that has been in hot water for kind of taking mental health needs for granted and kind of capitalizing on it.
But I mean, that's what therapists do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really complicated discussion. I've had it with a lot of people at this point where it's just like, we want to provide affordable therapy to people, but we want to do it ethically, right? So it's hard because there have been a lot of stories about people just kind of abusing
Oh yeah, I mean,
their position and stuff.
It's. I'm not gonna put anybody on blast, but I did. There's a guy at the gym that I would see frequently, and then I saw him at the grocery store. And there's like this divide that happens when you see someone outside of the environment you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden that person's a person to you, like, and you're like, oh, I could actually have like a really out of the blue conversation that has nothing to do with the gym, and like I can get to know you a little bit more, because sometimes people are just a little bit more contained by the environment they're in. Sure. And so out of nowhere, he's because I asked him, hey, so what do you do? I mean, we weren't really on talking basis, but when you meet him outside, you're like, hey, so what are you, dude? Like,
what are you?
Yeah. and
I'm a porpoise, bro.
Yeah. And so he said, I run a therapy business, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So what do you do? He's just like, dude, I just get paid to listen, but I don't even listen. He's like, and he's like, and it's so funny because he's at the end of the conversation. He's like, well, if you ever need any therapy. And gives me his card. Right. Like, it's like, well, how did you just sell that to me? Like,
did you?
He's my therapist. He's been my therapist.
No way.
No, he hasn't. No, but
dude, you're just what I've been looking for.
Yeah, I love someone who won't listen straight to me. Up. He's real. He's raw and real about it. He doesn't care about me.
That is amazing.
But that's kind of what you want in a therapist. Is someone who doesn't care.
Yeah,
an outside perspective.
Yeah.
Do you do therapy?
I did therapy for a long time, actually. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm very like, therapy is near to my. I also I went to school.
What college?
UMD.
Okay. For music?
Just a state college. No, I went there for psychology. Actually.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like pretty familiar with mental health services. I did therapy for a long time, starting in like high school, because life, man.
Yeah.
Life is not easy.
Oh,
Navigating this world is not easy.
What were you like in high school?
I was a dick, dude. I was a narcissist. Really? Yeah, I was a narcissist in high school. I sucked. I was not cool.
Were you not cool, or were you popular but you weren't really cool?
No, I was like so people around me who didn't dislike me because of something I said or did to them. Because I was just kind of a dick.
Oh, okay.
But I was weird. Like I was also all over the place.
Thought.
I'm pretty sure I had a personality disorder, because I was like just all over the place.
It was just you were just figuring yourself out.
I was figuring it out. I was an only child who came from like, kind of like a tense background. So like I just like, it was hard for me to find my way. But yeah, I was just kind of a dick in high school, but I was like humbled in therapy. And kind of transitioning into college and having to reset, and kind of like I went to a state school, so I knew people there, but I still kind of had to find my way. And I've changed like a lot over the past 8 years or whatever.
Was it that adjustment, realizing that your friends in high school don't really follow you into the next point in life? Like,
well, funny thing is, I had like, so you asked if I was like popular. People that kind of saw me thought I was like the shit. I was kind of drifting around different groups of people. I was in sports, and then I also kind of bounced over to like the musicals, and I was like the lead for a couple shows.
Oh, you did musicals?
I did musicals like later in high school. Earlier I did like sports, and so everyone kind of thought I was like popular, but I just always kind of felt like I was adrift. Like I was just kind of drifting around, like trying to find some ground, but I couldn't really find my people. And my closest friends then and even now are like people that I knew like since I was like 8. My best friends and I, we have just gone up together.
Wow.
And
how do you sustain that? Because it's so difficult. Because a lot of my friends are all in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
And they're also have families now or these types of jobs, and we just barely see each other.
Yeah, a lot of my friends just moved out of the state at the very least. It's been cool. I've been keeping up with them. You know, social media is great for that. I have a lot of friends now that are now like creatives. So it's it's been a journey. I'm very like self-reliant, I think, though.
Oh, on people?
No, self-reliant.
Oh, right.
So I've kind of just come to the understanding that people come and go.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just went to Florida like a couple weeks ago to visit my best friend in like Tampa area. So, we make it work.
So did you find how did you find your way out of like high school into more of a Melo Relo mindset? Like where did Melo Relo even come from?
It was just kind of like the process of like breaking away, and even Melo Relo when I first started was like kind of just like a cover to depart like myself from my art, because I wasn't really stoked about who I was as a person, but I like my art a lot. So I was like, I'll just be Melo Relo. But like Melo Relo like kind of taught me how to be more, I guess, chill. I guess
not
just
take
like
things as seriously.
Yeah, like definitely not take myself as seriously. Like I was very self-critical and very much like I need to be blah 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 perfect. Yeah, it was interesting.
'Cause we were saying that we were talking about that yesterday, that your brand is kind of like an expression of your personality in a sense,
Right.
and you get to choose what version of you want people to see. So what version of you is Melo Relo? Like, so you got the chill aspect of it, but like, what is the brand of Melo Relo?
I mean, honestly, it's just a constant state of heartbreak and rebuild is a big part. I'm right now single and have been for like a while, but like a lot of my life and a lot of the music that I write is just about the process of falling in love, having that not work out, kind of reeling it back in and finding a deeper love for yourself, and then kind of like going back out in the world and kind of just doing it again, because this is like a cycle. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, like my brand, I don't really want it to be that deep. Like like life. The more I've kind of thought and come to realize that life, like,
it just has so many different aspects to it. You can't really define it with like one or two different things.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are really complicated, and it's impossible to just be like, I am.
This is me.
But yeah, I mean, I was kind of saying yesterday, like, it's like the vibe I want to give people. I am a big nostalgist. I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah,
but I love nostalgia, whether it's like cartoons that I grew up with, or fashion that I think is like stuff that I would have seen on TV when I was younger, like in the early 2000s. Music that I was listening to, like DC 101 when I was a kid. Like that stuff is like, it's a sound that I feel like works so well today. And it's a thing that I resonate with really closely. So the nostalgia aspect is big. And I think Heartbreak in itself is kind of nostalgic. Just like, it's timeless, but it's also like, I don't know, 80s movies, like 80s like high school movies, so classic.
Also, Heartbreak makes you think about the time how you were at that. Like, I've had 4 loves in my life, and it's like I don't remember my first love or my second one.
Each one's like a time period too.
It's a whole different way that you viewed life, just based off of that relationship.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of like a capsule, a moment in time that you can always look back on and be like, oh, who was I? What was I dating? Who was I? Like, how was I? What was I focused on?
Yeah.
But yeah, so where does your influence, like what type of influences of like music is translated into Melo Relo?
What influences of music?
What's your influence in music? Like who are your influences? That's the question.
I've everything I listen to changes my brain chemistry a little bit. Everything I listen to that I think that compels me, because at the end of the day, like the word that I want my music to be above anything else is compelling. Like I want it to compel people to feel. I want it to be evocative, right? And so anything that kind of passes in and out of my brain is just like, that's crazy. That just like changed my life almost. Like, what are some big moments?
Being born.
Yeah, so when I was born, that inspired me to cry, let's be honest.
That was your first song.
And I never stopped crying. But no, like certain songs like 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins. It's like so good. It's like undescribably good. It's just like it scratches that itch in your brain like so perfect. No Rain by Blind Melon. Do you know any of these songs?
No.
Dude, they're so good. You're going to have this recorded. Like, go back and listen to them.
I probably do.
So
I've heard
Cage
of
the
them.
Elephant.
Yeah, I've heard these guys.
Blew my mind. Still Woozy was my most recent... Still Woozy was a recent one that I was like, wow, when I heard Goodie Bag, and then I just dove into his entire discography. His production style is just hot. Like, it's straight up sexy. Like, it's just like warm and lo-fi, but also has so many electronic elements that just make it so good.
Interesting.
And then after that, Peach Pit is like a Canadian soft rock band that I've seen a couple times now live, and they were like the last straw because their songwriting is so visual. They tell a story that you can seriously just like imagine. It's like you're reading a book kind of, and I just love that about them. And
that's sick actually that you mentioned their storytelling, because now I think what makes a great performance is the story that the viewer is watching. Like I saw a lot of these, like there was this one group called Afterlife. Have you heard of them? Well, they do like melodic techno, and it's more of just like house. It's like house music in a sense, and their visuals are stunning. Like they have the craziest, like a cyborg who's just like trapped in a box, and he's trying to get, like they're trying to get out, and like it's just going along with the music, and then when the drop happens, they're like banging on the glass, and the glass is like shaking, and it's like there's, even though it's such a small, like it's, the imagery is so simple, but it just means like it can just bring out a emotion.
I'm that cyborg.
We're all trapped.
We're all trapped.
You know, I'll get out of that box, and like it just, and then the music itself kind of guides you through that journey. But the visuals, it was like, are what helped that story come to life, especially in a performance. I think more people are putting money into creating more of a movie type of feeling in their performances than before, where it was just about the music and just kind of listening to it. But now it's all about those. It's like the story being told on the screen. And
it's funny because like it's not I talk about storytelling with Peach Pit. It's like in their lyrics, right? But like that's not even, because Still Woozy writes basically nonsense words. Like his sentences, I mean, if you really broke them down, you could get it. But like generally speaking, like it's just kind of like jargon. Like it doesn't make sense. So the story is something that can just be felt innately. It doesn't even need to be a thing that's like spelled out for you, which is cool too.
When you come up with your lyrics, do you think of the story, or do you think of buzzwords? What do you think of, like, how do you kind of create?
Yeah, so lyrics are hard. Lyrics are hard for me, unless they're really easy. They either come in 5 minutes and I've written a whole song, or they take me like over a year sometimes.
Jeez, for one song.
And the longer, it's like a bell curve. It's like the longer out I go, it gets harder. But then if I go out long enough, I can listen to it again and get re-inspired, and then like circles back and I can finish it.
Yeah.
So I try to get it done when it's fresh and it's new, because otherwise it's just I have to wait like so long. But a lot of times I think of visuals, actually. I think of like a movie playing in my head, not necessarily the plot of the movie, maybe a loose understanding, but I'll envision like, a kid with like a flannel biking down a street in the fall and it's raining and he's got like these old like Sony headphones on. Like, what is that kid's soundtrack right now?
Does he have a CD player?
Yeah, like an old like Walkman.
Oh yeah,
like that kind of like kind of antique vibe, or vintage. And then I'd think like
Well, by the way, I don't feel rain when I have earphones on.
You don't feel it?
I don't feel rain. Like I don't
really.
Yeah, like in a way, like
it doesn't like you don't feel it on you.
It could be raining like crazy, like it'd be like a crazy storm.
Yeah.
But if I have earphones on and I'm just listening to music, it just doesn't affect me like in that kind of way where I don't let it to like, because you can walk outside and just be like, oh man, it's raining, or like it's some sort of mood or whatever, and and you're like, oh, it's wet, oh, I'm uncomfortable. But when I have music in and I'm just listening to music that it'll
when listening to the music,
yeah, I just zone out and I don't feel it. I can be going on the bike and my entire body is drenched with rain, but if I'm listening to music, it just.
If you guys didn't know, he works out. Raivis works out, so
that's true. This is a public service announcement.
Goes to Jimmy Bikes.
Yeah, I do stuff outside every now and then.
He actually gets so buff when he's in the zone. He got the music playing. He doesn't feel rain.
I don't
because
feel
it doesn't touch him.
I don't feel pain.
It simply
or rain.
repels off of him.
It bounces off me
with some sort of supernatural force.
I'm made of rubber.
He has hockey. I don't know if my One Piece fans out there, because he said the rubber thing, so I was like, and I was already thinking hockey, and I was like, that's hockey.
See, anyways, I don't know hockey.
Some people will get that.
Okay.
And they're gonna be hyped. They're gonna be like, yo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're gonna
just
be really
like one
hyped.
person, like your friend.
Maybe more than one person. You'd be surprised.
Probably.
You'd be surprised.
I used to watch like Naruto, and I think that was the extent of it.
Naruto.
Oh, also like what's that one about the kid, the lost something, and she just sees these spirits. Spirited Away.
Oh, Spirited Away. Studio Ghibli. Yeah, that's
that one was sick.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a really good movie.
That was my childhood.
That freaked me out as a kid.
We
watched that in art class in 8th grade. Which is like
what?
Yeah.
That's like a great teacher though. He just didn't want to
super cool.
He just like
yeah, she was super cool, and it's a really good artistic film, but like that spirit guy just eats people whole.
Yeah.
Like it was horrifying.
I don't
to watch.
know if that was for kids.
Oh no, probably not. I mean, it was a really gruesome movie.
Yeah,
freaked me out.
It is really creepy, to be honest. But
it's like the creepiest, I think, Studio Ghibli film. Have you seen?
It's the only one I've seen.
You should see. Yeah, they're good. There are other good ones.
But is anime part of the the brand in a sense?
I'm actually working on anime content for One Piece with my friend. Once he gets back stateside, it's not really part of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I like video editing and audio editing a lot, so we're kind of doing that. And I'm, at this point, like, some people make podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same idea, but it's just one guy talking about whatever show.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't say it's part of the brand. Branding is hard. Like, I could just be me, but like I am a weird eclectic dude who just likes a bunch of weird things.
Mm-hmm.
I love cooking. Cooking is but that's like a big chunk of a brand. That's like potentially a big thing.
It could be, yeah.
You can't really combine cooking and fashion and anime. You're like, well, actually, but cooking, like, fashion. It's hard because like how.
I think you could wear something very fashionable. You make something and you have a catchphrase, and then it zooms in. It has like the anime, whoa, like some sort of, or like the exclamation point or like whatever. Like you can make it animated.
It's like oh, this recipe calls for a cup and a half of water. Nani?
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
Oh my good catness! I'm so sorry.
You're cutting like a piece of steak, just like could be very.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very theatrical.
I haven't considered. I mean, I also like. I'm really bad at watching anime, so
you're bad at watching.
I'm bad at it because it's very time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
I have a relatively short attention span.
Oh, okay.
when it's not music and specifically One Piece for some reason, I'm like addicted to One Piece. Everything else, I've started so many, I just never finished. I was like, eh. And also, most anime fans would just crucify me off principle that I haven't watched Naruto, and I don't really intend to.
Well, this is probably the last time. Well, when I upload this, you'll probably have some death threats and
yes, or some strong recommendations. Yeah, followed by by death threats.
They're quick,
but it's just like such a time commitment. I just don't.
I'm the same way when it comes to watching TV. I watch some trash here and there to get my mind off of things. I love like reality TV for some reason.
Yeah, dude.
I just like to see what how Becky's gonna choose between 5 different dudes who are fighting for her love.
Is that you and Katniss's that's typical weeknights?
Yeah, it'll be whenever we actually want to distract ourselves. That's our date. Yeah, that's our date night. Kind of like
because otherwise you guys are just. It's business.
It's constant business. She's either telling me stuff I need to talk about on the podcast.
Yep. You've got clothes on the ground, dude.
Clothes on the ground.
We can't have
that. Muscle piss.
Yeah, you're looking soft today.
What the heck, dude? You just said earlier I look big.
No, that was her. That's what she's saying.
Oh, okay.
Not
I was about to say.
To me,
I'm fragile. I told you.
To me, this dude is Wreck-It Ralph. I don't even know. I was going to say Bob the Builder. I was like, is Bob the Builder ripped?
He could be.
I guess. You look like you could build a house alone, though. So
no, definitely not alone. I would need a good team.
Yeah, he could do it alone.
Yeah, maybe.
He could probably.
Huge slabs of wood.
Yeah, dude.
Over my shoulder.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I would spend the rest of my days in a wheelchair. But I would have a pretty good house.
No, your knees would be fucked up.
Yeah, they're already almost getting there, and I'm 30. It's just all downhill, and I'm kind of enjoying it. Just like realizing it's all coming. The pieces are just falling apart.
Yeah.
But I just know that this is going to be the moment it happens. Mm-hmm. So it's like something I could look back on and be like, oh yeah, I could still do that when I was 30. But 31, completely different time.
Yeah. Well, luckily, I think your arms will be all right forever.
Yeah, maybe.
You'll be in a wheelchair, but you're just gonna be
I could stop
ripped.
working out for the rest of my life and still look.
Probably, yeah. You got a trust fund of muscle going on, dude. Yeah.
No, but I did. Has any crazy accidents, any life-changing moments that made you just change your perspective? For you?
Because
I have the reason why I say this is because. That's kind of I had a big accident that happened when I was 21 that just changed the course of how I view my body and how much intention I put behind my health.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm chronically terrified of cancer. So, which is a thing I think a lot of people have. I think a lot of people are just terrified. Because, to be fair, rates are going up for people under 50. It's more and more cases are coming out of people that are just getting it, microplastics, the environment, whatever. But, so, I've had a couple moments where I've had, weird body sensations where WebMD was like, you definitely got cancer, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, I'm never smoking again. I'm never drinking. I'm the drink, whatever. So... there's that happens maybe once a month. So I'm just not once a month, not once a month, not once a month. Maybe once a year. I don't know, whatever. But accidents.
Well, just incidents. It doesn't have to be accidents. Something that was just life changing for you.
I hurt my back.
Yesterday?
A couple years ago. Yeah, yesterday. I hurt my back a couple years ago. It was so stupid. It's just the dumbest thing. I was coming home with a couple friends from a bar. We were so drunk. I might have been the most drunk, at least to have done this. I was significantly drunk. I don't know. My buddy who weighs 200 pounds, maybe between 180 and 200, or maybe less. And I was just at a point where I wasn't doing anything fitness wise. I was just dead skinny, rock star skinny kind of thing, right? No muscle. I tried to pick him up. And carry him up the flight of stairs to my apartment. I don't know why. I was just I'm doing this. I'm gonna pick you up. You're coming with me.
Yeah.
So I tried to throw him over my shoulder, and I immediately was like, this is gonna be really hard for me to do. I have no muscle right now. But I was just so drunk that I was just I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna go Super Saiyan right now and just pick him up. Nope. I tried my best, and next thing I knew, I was on the ground, on my back, just like in so much pain because I just pulled something. And then I went to bed that night, and I was like, okay. Woke up the next morning, I couldn't move. It was bad. I was like, wow, because my mom throws her back out like all the time. Mm-hmm. And I'm always like, how did that even happen? Like, what does that even look like? I mean, to be fair, I was doing some insane lifting, but I was like, yeah, this sucks. Yeah, this sucks.
And that was life-changing for you.
Yeah, I started doing yoga after that. I started like stretching and drinking a lot of water. I also turned my life around by just deciding to like commit to like 64 ounces a day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It changed everything. If I have any advice for anybody, people who suffer from mood problems or health problems physically, like water intake can fix so much stuff that people don't even want to give it credit for.
See, I'm trying this new thing that Andrew Tate
it's like no water.
Says. No, he's like, I don't eat food because it like being full makes you too content, and so then way you're gonna not actually perform as much as what it would be like.
So you're trying to literally
hunt.
stay hungry.
So I haven't eaten anything today. I have drank less than an ounce of water. I have like no water actually.
So water's different than food though.
Yeah, definitely.
Drink water.
Yeah,
okay, like also on principle, probably don't listen to Andrew Tate.
Oh, real? So you're anti Andrew Tate?
I mean, yeah.
Okay,
on principle, yeah, I kind of have to be like.
Why is that?
He just says some pretty despicable things about women.
Can you not, Candace? Thank you.
I mean, he's just said some hyper masculine, just kind of hyper normative things about women and their roles in society.
Yeah, I mean, it is just an opinion though, and it's just a polarizing opinion.
Well, it's an opinion that is kind of inflicting will on other people, though. Kind of
how so?
Giving them... Because it's one thing to be like, I am a dominant man who will stick up for myself, and I will make this much money to feel confident in this and that. But it's another thing to be like, I'm a dominant man, and women are submissive to me. Because then that kind of puts them in a box.
You think that's kind of more of a traditional mindset of like how things were before in the household, and how you think things are now changing, and that's why there's that pushback, that it's less about that male role and it's more about the equality of how we view each other's contributions rather than the gender of that person?
Yeah, I definitely think if we're talking about like a relationship or like a household kind of dynamic, like I think there's so much more, like I guess for every relationship there's like decisions to be made and people to be on the same page with things. But I definitely think he's just coming from kind of an insecure place. Like why inflict that will on another person? Why need someone to be submitting to you? Like,
yeah,
are you insecure about a level of equalness? Does that kind of make you feel like less of a man?
Or less powerful? And like, why do you need that level of power?
Yeah, I think that's why I don't like Andrew Tate in general. Is just like, I think the way he kind of flexes money and flexes status and stuff, I just think he's very addicted to power. Much like a lot of politicians and public figures, and I think he really went over the top with it, kind of bringing it into like the public space, being like, not only do I feel this way, but I think society as a whole should be this way. And all these guys that are kind of following him. I was actually listening to another podcast that kind of described it right, like guys with like poor father figure, like non-existent father figures or weak father figures kind of gravitate toward Andrew Tate because they feel like they're getting a strong male figure to follow or something. I don't know if that's true or not. I thought it was kind of an interesting perspective on that, but I kind of in some ways feel the same. Well, to be fair, I've never really heard him say anything of value, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I've heard him say things like very broad stroke,
general,
like men, like guys speaking to a male audience, like don't sacrifice yourself for a job or a boss, or quit your jobs if you're not happy, make as much money as you can, like general broad stroke things that are just like do good for yourself. But then he comes in like also I'm not gonna get crazy and get like ironically over the top with the way I interpret his things, but I feel like kind of similar with Joe Rogan. Because I think Joe Rogan has a lot of valuable things, right? I don't think Joe Rogan would ever say, starve yourself so you grab that feeling of hunger and...
You just attacking life.
Yeah, attacking life. I don't know if he would say that, but he says a lot of interesting things about ice bath treatments and different diets and like...
You don't agree with the ice baths?
No, I think ice baths are great, actually. I think they're really cool. I think the stimulation on the immune system is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good practice. Just relax and just ease your mind in that type of environment.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, like mental fortitude, and I think that's huge, actually. And I think that kind of also goes against what Andrew Tate was saying, because I think mental fortitude can also apply to like relinquishing power. Like there's strength in being able to like not be in control of everything around you, other people or whatever. So I think a lot of mental fortitude that I'm actually grappling with right now is just letting things kind of go and letting things kind of transpire as they would naturally and not trying to like, because like honestly, like 2 years ago, or maybe not 2 years ago because COVID was a weird time, but you know, in high school, I was a musician as well back then. In college, I was a musician, but I was trying to craft everything around my life, everything I said to be the right thing to say.
You just wanted to seem like you had it together.
Yeah, I was so desperately wanted to seem like I had it together because I did not, you know what I mean? But as of recently, I mean, I'm definitely a lot more comfortable in just being like, this is me, this is what's happening. And I think there's power in that. I think that itself is having a lot of strength.
Yeah, being vulnerable with just accepting how you are in that moment. Yeah, and not having to feel that you need to do more in order to prove what your worth is.
Right.
And that's a lot of the time our brain will trick us into thinking we need to always do more instead of just understanding that we already are doing. The fact we are doing is what is of value.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously you want to look at also through the lens of am I on my path? Do I feel like I'm aligning? It's aligning with my intention of what I'm trying to accomplish, or like the direction I want to lead my relationships. The case for most artists, just even doing anything, is just like you got to figure it out on your own, and then hopefully you attract people that are all on the same wave, or they have different talents, and they're like, oh, I can do this. I honestly didn't even know that there was that little screw thing on a tripod, and like just something small like that is already valuable.
For sure.
So
yeah. Every time I can learn something like and the reason why I know that kind of stuff is just by surrounding myself with people that do it better than me. That's always been my way of learning.
Are a lot of your friends also musicians?
Yeah, I mean, my friends are very talented, very smart. I mean, that's the reason why I gravitated toward my closest people since I was very young, is just like their level of awareness. I was just like, I want to just be around that, you know. But yeah, they're very talented in their different ways. None of them really pursued music. None of my closest friends really pursued music. The friends that I've made more recently, which not to say they're not close, it's kind of a weird distinction because I have like a core like group of people that are. But basically brothers to me. I have like matching tattoos with some of them actually. Nice. But like some of them are visual artists, paint, do stitch work.
That's cool.
So yeah, but the people that I am now kind of interacting with still in the state, because most of them moved out, they're almost all creatives, which I love. Because I didn't have a network before of creatives that I could like hit up. Like, yo man, let's make some content, or let's do a studio session or whatever. It's been great connecting with you again because I have a lot of people who are very comfortable in a studio, environment, or just jamming or making like more official video content, like music video stuff. But someone who's comfortable to just like, yeah, let's like post up on this corner here and just record like 10 videos.
Yeah.
That's the things I do alone. And it feels so weird when you're doing it alone and when no one around you has, because I have some friends in LA who do it every day, but they kind of live together, so they have a lot of social validation and stuff. I don't know, out here it's also the area. This area is like not very creative.
Well, I think it is, but it isn't like as known for it.
I think the people here are very creative, but like I think the actual like a lot of the people here that are not creatives are very like head down, go about my hustle bustle. So if they see you doing stuff like recording a TikTok out in public or doing like a stunt or whatever, it's a little more snobbish of a view of it.
You think?
It's kind of just like, that's maybe I'm just projecting like what I worry people are thinking or whatever.
Yeah. I actually don't think it's that way. And
yeah, but you were so gun ho. No, you were so like just
make it happen.
Yeah, you like have a make it happen attitude, which is really good. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I looked at the content we made yesterday and like yeah, like some of it like I don't think I'd put out.
Yeah, that's fine.
But and that's the thing though, right? Because a lot of people that I make content with, like if I for whatever reason like like it was fun, it was a huge like even that small interaction was a huge learning experience for me. That there are people out there like you that want to like do that stuff.
Literally
like,
just you filming and then us just coming up with some random idea of me jumping over you and then these 4 people walking by.
Right.
And I'm just like, hey, you guys want to be in the video? But they don't know what's going on.
They have no idea.
But the fact that you're just so, I mean, at least I try to put that energy out there that it's just like, hey, do you want to be part of this?
Yeah.
And a lot of people do because they just don't have anything else better to do. It's just like something that they can talk about. Hey, I met that artist. We did this. We got, and then when you guys are shooting content, it's like, where is it going to be posted? How, like, maybe that's their way of also getting plugged in too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it was really cool that one of those dudes were like, I think my sister listens to your music.
That's sick.
That was a big celebrity moment. I was like, whoo.
Yeah, wow.
I was like, me?
Wow. That he even knew that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a big moment, and that always feels good. Just running into people who might have heard of me before.
But I think the attitude of just being able to just be like, all right, this is what I want to do, and then just being on the fly, just like, oh, how can we put pieces together that could work in unison with what's going on?
Yeah, I was just cracking up at our outfits. It was so funny to me. You had like a I'm a Hollister model vibe.
Okay.
Like seriously, you had like the button down and like these boots, and it was so funny. And I was just dressed like I don't even know what to describe this look. It's like post-punk indie kid.
Okay.
Is kind of the aesthetic I'm going for, which is like it's normal to me, but it's like kind of like indie core. Vintage aesthetic, I don't know, but it was just funny. It was a really.
You were mentioning yesterday that there was this like cabbage core or something like this.
Cottage
cheese.
Cottage. Yeah, like cottage cheese. Yeah. So cottage core is yeah. It's just like the idea that like and I think it's mostly girls that I've come across. Like it's girls that I know of that are into it. That's like
it's a type of genre.
It's like a way of life, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I want to abandon society and I want to go live in a cottage and collect water from the well every day and have pigtails.
That's classic way of living.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%.
I feel like their favorite candy would be Swedish fish.
Yes. Yeah, that they actually fished from a river.
Yeah, and they have to
and like melted sugar.
Yeah.
And like candied it. And honestly, dude, I think they're gonna save the world.
You think that those guys are the future?
Yeah, because think about like if everyone was like that, like global warming wouldn't be a thing.
But then they
like cottagecore is like like COVID was like the thing that like the environment was like, all right, look, this is kind of what I think. The environment's like, look, humans, they've gotten out of hand. We got to take care of some of them.
Yeah.
At some number, I don't know who, whatever. It's like Thanos, right? Cottagecore is like it's like the competing force. It's like COVID's like, have you seen the movie The Happening?
No.
It's like plants rebel by making everyone, they like start emanating this pollen that causes people to start like
killing each other,
unaliving themselves.
Oh wow!
Like jumping off buildings and stuff.
Oh shoot!
Like really crazy movie.
I would not watch
with Mark Wahlberg.
I can't watch
that. It was like
that.
Weirdly kind of comedic. It was like
what the interesting.
Fuck? Very very weird movie. But yeah, it was like COVID was like that, and then like cottagecore is like the planet has more to offer. Like like churning butter. Like I don't know.
The butter churning.
But yeah, so I did this video recently that was like a cottagecore green screen. and it was me with my song in the background. I've been trying to promote my music more in creative ways. I've been leading to the comedy thing because I think I'm funny. I'm definitely funny in certain situations, like when I'm on shrooms.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, there was one trip that I had. I don't really do psychedelics anymore, but yeah, I could not stop being like the funniest guy in the room. It was like crazy.
Were you actually funny, or did you think you were funny?
I think I was hilarious.
Okay.
Seriously, it was the thing I can't even describe. But yeah, so I've been like leaning into this like humor thing. Humor's not really my brand. It's kind of come and gone. It's like kind of worked here and there. I was doing this segment for a bit where I was doing this like turn format. So I'm like starting out here, and then as the song drops, I turn and the camera's over there and looking at me at a different angle.
Okay.
So I turn toward a different angle, and I'm like saying these like really racy jokes.
Oh.
So it's like, for an example, this isn't the racy one, but this is an example one. Is like, what did the green grape say to the purple grape? I turn. Let me do this to the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can't really, but and then I turn. Breathe, right? Because he's purple because he's holding his breath. Yeah.
Okay.
but then it just got like worse and worse. The jokes got way worse. Like what was the other one that I think one of my friends was like, dude, you should probably take that down because what are you doing? Like your whole thing is like you're like authentic, like you're pretty real.
Yeah.
And then now you're just like anti-joke territory, like dark humor as fuck. And I'm like, oh yeah. Cause I like that too.
Yeah,
I'm just a guy that likes so many things. It's just hard to like make it consumable. I think that's why I was like, I can't do cooking and anime and fashion and cinematic short film stuff. Cause like that's just appealing to 4 different groups. I don't have enough time in the world to make content to satiate every one of those groups. I have to just focus on like 1 or 2 at the beginning at least. Then once I'm established, I can maybe do whatever.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good way to rise up the ranks in the sense of becoming either that, like, I guess if you're trying to go for that like household name, that type of mainstream vibe, that it's hard for people to know who they're following if you have so many different like versions of you that you're giving off of. Like, so you really want to narrow it down to like 3 or like even one thing that people, it's just like a button that they can press and they're like, no, they know that that's you. Melo Relo.
Exactly. That's like what you want, right? There's a couple like creators that I follow where I'm like, I'm in this guy's mood today. And I just go to their page and I watch a video and it's like, that's what I came here for.
Mine's there's this creator that is just like, hello buddy. Would you like some a cup of Joe? Okay.
It's like ASMR?
Yeah, kind of like that, but he's just so relaxed and sweet.
That's kind of like Joe what is his name? Joe
Mama?
Peta? Joe Mama? Joe, I don't know, but he's like really soft-spoken, like Midwest kind of guy. White dude. Joe Pera. He's like he started like making YouTube videos and then he got on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network and has like a show there now, but he does really soft spoken like storytelling stuff, but like in this really soft spoken way. Kind of reminded me of that.
And I'm trying to like, I was watching this guy I was talking about, and I'm just trying to understand. Okay, how is this guy making money off of what he's doing? Like, what is the brand really like besides just making content of him in a forest making a grilled cheese and then just handing it to you?
Oh, so he like cooks in the wilderness?
Kind of like the wilderness, or
That's
like
cool.
He has like a VHS machine, like a tape player with like a old TV, and he'll just like put on a cartoon, and he'll give you like a grilled cheese with like a nice, like he does the whole set, the whole feeling of.
So he's just trying to make you as cozy as possible.
Yeah, and you're just like, wow, I love this. Hello, buddy. Here,
wow.
Just relax. And I'm like, well, how is this guy making money? Like, what is
that? What you and Katniss do? Like, instead of when you're not watching reality TV, you're just like, all right.
We just watch his videos.
We're gonna go watch this guy make us a grilled cheese.
Yeah, we can't even eat it, but like, the feeling it gives us though, like, it keeps us united.
Yeah. Yeah, it soothes the soul.
It does. So, and I saw because he's a producer, so he produces music, and
all right, I was not expecting you to say that. What kind of music?
So it's all that. it's music to go to sleep to.
Is it like lo-fi?
It's more of like ambient. And so he
it's
just
like binaural?
He talks during the music, but I'm pretty sure he makes it.
Yeah.
But that's how he sells the brand is that
it's like
the
meditation,
journey of hey, just fall asleep, and he'll talk about like fishing, and he'll be like, and then I went up to the pond with my long rod and had this, and we try to reel it in, and the type of fish that it was this, like, and it's just very descriptive and relaxing, and you're just like, I could just chill, and he uses such weird words. It's so interesting that.
Do you feel like you learn, like your vocabulary improves?
Definitely not, because I haven't consumed a lot of it, but it was just enough.
That was you're like asleep, I guess, for like most of it. Yeah.
But it was just so interesting that like, and then there's this other creator who takes comments from the internet and will write songs off of those comments. Mm-hmm. And one of them is called Pregnant. And it's all the different ways that people have typed pregnant wrong. Pregnante. And
yeah, I've seen that video. Oh, is that the same guy?
No, different guy. Different guy. But he's also a producer, though.
Yeah. I've seen his videos. Yeah, he's funny.
That I will just watch over and over again the same video.
Are I pregnant?
Yeah, I love the Pregnante. Yeah,
Pregnante.
Pregnant. I think that's Preggers, yeah. But I feel like pregnant is just such a country hillbilly thing to say. Like, Mom is pregnant. No raggets. Like, it's so ignorant, but I love it. But
that's good.
All right, so what are you working on in your artistry? Like, how are you improving?
I'm trying to get better with consistency, like dropping consistently.
So are the types of things that you're dropping, are they always different? Or like, are you just being like, you know what, let me just narrow in and just do this one type of thing for one song I'm going to be pushing? Or are you just like, I'm going to make as many songs as possible?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely trying to make as many songs as possible. I have a lot of songs that are done that just need like some final touches. I'm just like trying to break out of the perfectionist mentality. I'm just trying to like be okay with a song being as is. It's just the most frustrating feeling when you drop a song and you're listening to it after it's dropped and some of that mental weight has kind of come off, and then you see it in a different angle and you're like, oh.
That's what's great about releasing music.
Yeah.
Is you see it completely different, and you learn the moment you drop it. It's so interesting because I'll learn a lesson the moment I drop it. I'm like, oh, actually that snare was too loud.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if it's like the compression on Spotify's platform or if it's literally just like you were like song deaf to it, and then once it drops, that like mental anguish goes away.
You let go,
and then you just hear it more clearly, or something.
You see it more objectively.
Yeah.
So just releasing the music itself it's gonna help you make better music the next time you release.
Most definitely.
And that's what's kind of crazy is I probably have so many songs that could probably be really successful. Yeah. But I'm just not like. For some reason, I gravitate towards a different thing that I want to release. Always, just like, this is actually really good. But
well, that's good though, because once you have like a more of a following, then you drop those heavy hitters.
That's true.
And then it's like, okay, bet. Like I didn't have it then, but I have it now. That's a big thing for me actually. I was like hang on to every single song because I was like, this is the one though. If I drop it now and no one listens to it, like I've thrown it.
Too late.
And then I go back and all those songs that I thought was the one, I listen to them again, and I'm like, they don't hold a candle to what I'm making now.
I bet you the same thing for content. You could also re-release songs, like songs that are like Taylor Swift has done.
There's one song that I love that I dropped a long time ago with an artist that I think is so sick, named Cole Bauer, called Tattoo. It's like easily one of the coolest processes to writing a song that I've ever had, and it also is like such a good storytelling song because it's just about like the metaphor of like love leaving like a scar on you after it ends, kind of like a tattoo would. Kind of balancing that with like the idea of permanence and like impermanence and stuff. It's just like not mixed. Like I mixed it myself. I mix all my songs now get mixed with other engineers who are like professional. And if I had just like sent that out to get mixed, I think it would have held out better over time. But I was thinking about remixing. I just don't have the stems. I just complete the song files. But
you have the sound of the song. So you could just
I could just redo it, yeah. I actually literally started a song file a couple nights ago that was like Tattoo Remake. But it's just, it's kind of hard. It's hard to do that. but
I mean, I guess
doable.
it's not going to be exactly the same, and you got to be okay with that.
Yeah. You got to be okay with that. That's a big thing, for sure.
You're going to be so stuck in, like, that's the itis of having a demo versus the final version.
Right.
Is that you're just so used to hearing it, and you just love the rawness of it.
Yeah,
and
shout out Eastman. Make it sound like the demo.
Oh, yeah.
That's the mixing engineer that I work with.
Okay.
And that was like me and my collective are always just like, can you make it sound more like the demo? And he's like, but the demo's not mixed. And it's like, yeah, but capture the essence of that rawness. And he's like, so you want me to make it sound bad? And he's like, no. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like amplify, like make the levels loud enough, but I want to hear the imperfections and what the demo was. Like
there's niceness to the imperfections for sure.
Goodness. But yeah.
Did she tear up the furniture?
No, but like today she's doing more.
She just wants the attention.
Yeah, she's just extra.
She got nothing in the tank, so she's like, I got
nothing to lose right now. You're distracted. You can't discipline me right now.
That's right.
So I could go off the
dude.
hinges.
Katniss has like a 6-story hotel over here, man. This cat tree is
she has
crazy.
A palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Are you jealous? How many rooms that has, dude?
Honestly, we are offering Airbnb for her cat tree. We for other cats or other animals that want to just have a night stay, $40 an hour, $40 a day. It's actually pretty affordable for different animals. My cat will hate you, and she will never want to like.
I'm waiting to see if Raivis is like, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, definitely, no, of course. No, but no, I do the Airbnb for each level. And so that bottom level.
Stop, dude. Like it's so good that I'm like this. Like I want this to be real so bad. Like so, especially the 2 levels thing. Like that's like imagine like you're like it's $40 for like the bottom level of this duplex we've got going on.
We throw parties.
And the other cat like kind of goes up there and he's like, bro,
dude, you
like
didn't
this
pay
isn't
enough.
your level. You didn't pay for the premium suite. Like.
It honestly is a full-time job. I don't make much money off of music.
Yeah.
Most of my job is just making sure the cats don't go up to the other levels if they didn't pay the access fee. So like, it's a full-time thing.
Dude, you make your money back real quick on that cat tower.
Honestly, I got it for free. I got it as
really?
Yeah, it was given to me.
It's pure profit.
Yeah, so I could actually sell that for some big money. But honestly, I'm making so much money off of it.
Dude, was it a fixer-upper?
Nah, it came in pieces. And so it just came all as like, I had to, no one knows what we've been talking about, but it's this 8-foot cat tree.
It's a big cat tree. It's got like a master bedroom and a guest house. It looks like it's got some hanging things with fluff balls that I'm sure Katniss beats up. And like every post is like,
those are real mice actually.
Those are real mice.
Yeah, I'd have them attached with a string, and it's just kind of like.
That's how you're able to charge so much.
Yeah, because I provide a real experience for all the animals that come. It isn't just cats. Sometimes it's lemurs.
I was imagining ferrets for some reason.
Ferrets? Yeah, ferrets. They love
ferrets
it,
would have a good time in there. Yeah, my friend had ferrets. I was in a band in college, and he had 2 ferrets named Hamilton and Munchie. I think her name was like Munchie, but they were a sibling. What was her name? I don't know. I'm gonna say Munchie for now.
All right.
I'll keep it low key. Okay. I don't want to expose them too hard, but
yeah.
They were so cute. They're like little. They're like those. I was gonna say. Because we probably have never held real snakes, right? You know those fake snakes, like the wood ones that had like all like, and it was like really malleable.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're basically like hairy snakes, right? Because they'll just bend. Like you're worried like that they're gonna like break their spine. Nope, they're good. They will do anything. They'll move in any weird way. They'll curl up, pretzel up, crazy.
You feel like that's like your spirit animal?
A little bit.
Yeah?
A little bit.
Because you're malleable and you just kind of go with the flow now. Before you used to be more of a...
I was like an armadillo before.
Hardened on the outside, hiding who you were.
Yeah, or maybe like a porcupine, because every time any adversity, shing, I was just like, I'm ready to...
Stay away from me.
Yeah, I'm ready to like... Because I was big on like, if anyone I felt like slighted me or like made like a comment that I didn't like, I was like, I need to get them back, or this is like a big blow to my like ego.
That is huge, your ego, especially as an artist, because you like... People think of you a certain way, and then you think of yourself in a certain way, and it's like, oh, I've had this many streams, or I've done this, I work with this person. It's like, being able to just disconnect that, and it's just so hard sometimes because you want to, like, as an artist, it is a way of proving what you can do,
right?
And so you don't want to get caught into that trap of always needing that validation. And when someone doesn't give that to you, you feel wronged, and it's like, wait, like, I have to put myself, like, I have to put that aside. It's not, that doesn't identify, like, that's not who I am. It's not my ego. So
yeah, that's the dangerous thing about being an artist, especially like if you were like to run with your own name, like you're real born.
Yeah.
You know, because then it's just like your artistry is you. With Melo Relo, I have a little bit of separation. I don't really introduce myself as my real name to people that I'm meeting in the industry, because I'm like, that's not who you're talking to. You're talking to like this, my brand, basically. And I think if it was, and even that as like a solo artist, it still is like, if you don't like my music, it's like almost a direct reflection of myself. It's like the hardest and scariest part about being an artist. But
when you when I talked to you about the podcast yesterday, you were like, how long does the podcast normally take? And I'm like, it really
because here's
depends.
the thing, like if you post an hour and a half video, there's no way it was like one take. So my assumption was it probably would take 3 to 4 hours.
No, it's all in one take.
But you cut it up.
No, I don't.
No, really, it's just you edit the camera angles differently.
That's it.
Damn. I mean that's actually not crazy. Like, I've seen, obviously, most podcasts I watch are like that.
I mean, honestly, like, this is new. The way that I'm going about this episode is a little different because we have talked about so many different things that it'd be interesting to see the response of it. I think I want to leave it, though, like, at least the like majority of it, besides me standing up, checking, all that.
Right.
Like, leaving most of it just to see because that's how you learn. That's how you, like, shift. You're like, okay, actually it was received better than how the other one was just music related, because we do have a lot of depth as artists and creatives, that we have such a unique perspective because we see things in like a problem solving kind of light. And a lot of people, not to say that they don't, but they kind of accept things for how they are in a lot of ways, and it's not like how can they change that. It's like people are more complacent, and so I think creatives, and a lot of creatives are more of the what lens are you seeing things through, and you can see that through not just music, but through so many different avenues. So I mean, I think obviously we're all creatives in that sense, but it's like, how do you tap into that creativity? And so for me, it's like self-expression. It's through my music. It's through the relationships I have. How the frames, or like the type of life that I want to live, is all translated through that, and it's not just that one dimensional of music.
Right.
So that's why it's like, let me see what it's going to be like to also express that side, because it's really just about getting to know us. And the music is kind of like the thing that we can kind of relate to, but there's obviously always more, which is just the journey of life that we are sharing that experience.
Yeah, and I think that's really I think that's what defines like a effective product in general, is like anything you sell. Like, that's what, like, most things that you find on the market are interchangeable. Whether you buy Nike or Under Armour or like whatever, they're all gonna do the same thing. It's comfortable clothes you can work out in, right? But it's like people associate strongly with certain companies because, like, their values, what they stand for, like where they come from. I think it's the same thing with like music. Like, there's a lot of music that's interchangeable. If one band never existed, like, another band would take their place. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a cynical way to look at it, maybe, but I think that's pretty much true. Like, people desire music, it's the product. There will always be people to supply it. But it's like the people behind the music that make it so appealing. And it's a hard balance for me to hit because, like, I'm someone who kind of appreciates privacy. Like, I don't want to be under a microscope.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be like a household name. I would like to make music that I enjoy and find people that enjoy it with me, and, like, maybe sell clothing like that's related to the brand and kind of make money that way. But, like, I don't want to be like Drake. Like that's in no part of my plan. I made most of my money I made on music has been production work for other people, which is the whole avenue of this podcast we haven't really talked about. That's like most of the time I make music and put it out. It's with like just me doing guitar work, bass work, vocal, lyric writing for like other artists, and that's where all the money that I've made has come from on music.
How long have you been doing that? Like making money doing it?
Since 2020, actually. When COVID hit, I really started reconnecting with people that I'd fallen kind of out of touch with. Both like to like produce my stuff, but also to kind of see what they needed. Mm-hmm. And the first placement I ever got, which was an insane place to start for me, was with Miko, my boy. I miss you. Sorry I couldn't see you on tour in Canada, but your boys in the U.S. just be like that. But I was sitting in a studio session working on my song, and they played me a demo of his song Down, which blew up on TikTok. And it's a killer song. It's about like just how difficult it is to make it in a world that's just like constantly pumping you full of like the 9-to-5 agenda. And I was just listening to this song, and like, this song is killer. And they're like, it's made by a 17-year-old kid in Canada. And I'm like, what? And I started just kind of fiddling around with an acoustic guitar. I laid down a couple chords because they were like, let's put it in there. And I was like, okay. And I didn't know what that meant. Because at that point, Baggage Claim, which is like our collective, like I don't think we'd really put out anything that was like monumental at that point. And Miko started promoting the song, and it blew up. And he released it, and now it's almost at 7 million streams.
Dope.
And it's killer. And he has progressed to have an insane career. I'm very lucky to have worked on a couple other songs with him at this point. But, it's almost like I'd rather attack the industry from that angle.
With the production side, working with other artists?
Yeah, because there's way more money in it. I mean, it depends. It's a little more behind the scenes. Like, you're not in the public eye, which scares the hell out of me. Like, that's just like every little thing I do is being dissected. It's just like terrifying. So it's a little more like kind of, BTS, which I like. There seems to be more money in it, at least that's what because I haven't really hit gold with my career as an individual artist yet. The rewarding side of putting out my own art, of course, is like having people listen to it and kind of have like a deeper understanding of me and my mind through my music, which is really cool to me and attractive to me. And then being able to celebrate my music with other people, of course, is great. There have been a couple parties I've been to where a song of mine will pop on, and when people know my lyrics, even if they're just friends of mine singing along with me, that is a high that I could never get from anything else, like anything else. There was like a monumental moment that I remember in like sophomore year of college. I was playing a demo out of my friend's window in his dorm, and it was like second floor, so it wasn't that high up, and like hanging out, and I look out the window, and there's a guy like with his phone like filming the window. And I was first like, this guy's a narc. Yeah. For whatever reason. I don't know if we were drinking or whatever. I was like, why does this guy have narc energy? So I look out and I'm just like, hey man, like, I see you're filming. Like, what's up? And he's like, oh no, I want to save this song so I can look it up later.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, dude, this is my song that I haven't even dropped yet. And when I drop it, it's going to go on SoundCloud. It's not going on Spotify. Yeah. It's back when I didn't even have DistroKid or anything. And it was just I was just like, wow, like, I stopped this guy in his tracks to like record this music. Crazy.
Yeah, you controlled that person.
Yeah, dude. My claws were in him. Yeah. No, I mean, I had my finger on the pulse of that guy.
Yeah, literally, you could have told him to do anything.
Yeah. Like, empty your bank account.
Yeah. Wire me all your funds, dude.
We got some time actually.
Oh, dope.
He said 7:15 for him, so if I can head out in about 30.
Sweet. I'll set the timer.
Excellent. Which is awesome.
Yeah, that is super dope.
But yeah, so that was a crazy moment, and yeah, there are a lot of artists out there who like have made insane careers for themselves, completely minimizing the celebrity aspect. Like Frank Ocean.
Oh yeah.
Frank Ocean is my view on him at the moment is a little
what's your view on him?
Iffy, just because of his relationship with his fans. Like, he's supposed to play at, I believe, Coachella. And this sounds horrible because I'm like, I think it was Coachella. Like, he was supposed to perform at a music festival. I think it was Coachella. He was announced on the bill. Fans showed up. He just like didn't come out. Just didn't show. And that's not the first time that he like kind of like disappointed people and like as far as just kind of like being a hermit instead of like coming out. Which is like, look, I'm not gonna fault someone for like not wanting to be out in the public, but
I don't get it. That's part of the job, though. Like, do you think it's something mentally?
Well, I mean, look, he's still getting paid. You know what I mean? Like, it might be part of the job. I don't know.
Oh, just for having his name on the card.
Well, I mean, I just mean like he's made enough money in music, and that's the thing is like I don't know if this is true, but I would imagine like one of the most streamed R&B artists of all time. But just the lack of public appearances that he makes is just crazy. Even the lack of music that he's dropped. He hasn't dropped since like 2018. Maybe.
Why do you think? Do you think that's because he feels like he needs to top himself, and like there's a lot of pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that's true of any artist, pretty much, unless you're God, unless you were a free flowing Jesus.
I listen to God all the time.
Yeah,
he's
I bet.
So dope. Dude, honestly, I rock with his vibe.
With God.
With God's vibe.
Yeah, he doesn't see. We don't talk.
Really? What
Not
the heck?
too much. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to more listen. It's more of a listening type of thing.
Really, he doesn't talk to me. It's usually I thought he listens to you. Isn't that the whole thing? Like, how am I supposed to listen to him? He doesn't say shit.
No, it's because you gotta be completely quiet and just allow the sounds around you to communicate.
We listen to God right now.
We could listen to this. Would be the moment. This moment would be sponsored by God. Let's hear his message. This message is.
I'm just like imagining you blur out the screen and just God with a period and a capital G.
Yeah. Katniss finally.
This message is sponsored by God.
God speaks to Katniss. Pay up. You didn't pay that $40 for that second tier Airbnb suite. But yeah, I mean, are you religious at all?
I'm not religious.
Yeah.
My mom is Jewish, so I'm Jewish by tradition. But I don't practice anything. I don't really have any.
Spirituality though, like, are you spiritual?
I definitely believe in like greater forces in this universe. I kind of believe in the insignificance of man.
Okay, I agree with that.
And like the futility of trying to play God. Because I believe that there is just so much so much more for us even that we can even comprehend. That it's like it's completely ridiculous to think that anyone could really affect the world. Like truly, like we're kind of affecting the world in a negative way as far as like global warming and like that kind of thing. But like, I believe that there are things that are much grander than humans and the things that we can kind of perceive.
I think the word affect is where I disagree, because I do think we are affecting the world, and I think the world, it can be through. I mean, if you look at the world through a scientific aspect, like lens, you have the animals, you have the environment, we have the people. All of those things are being affected.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're definitely affecting the ecosystem. But I think at the end of the day, like you think the grand scheme of things, we're not able to change the trajectory. Yeah.
Or do you think things are
like it's almost like this is like inevitable. People advance. There's no utopia. There's no reality where civilization progresses and people live in harmony. Like.
You don't think so? You're kind of you got kind of what is you got a dystopia type.
I'm kind of a dystopian. Yeah, I think. I mean, I believe in like the laws of entropy. I believe like we are always evolving into a form of approaching chaos. So I think like everything is kind of destined to like it's like the bell curve. It's like you approach like an era of like growth that's like exciting and good and like you're vibrating. Like if you're talking about like molecules literally vibrating, but if you just keep heating up, those things are going to start to deteriorate because they're just moving too quickly for themselves. And I think that's kind of what's happening with humans. Like, we're just evolving technology and even ourselves so quickly that it's just like, eventually we're just going to burn out. And then the world will just start over.
Yeah, because I think, like, you're onto something with that. Chaos creates change. And through that, change is like a rebirth, like a renewal of like adapting to what had just like caused that destruction. I think through destruction there is always a rebuilding aspect. Yeah. I mean, it's the same. Like you see it through history. It always like it repeats in that way with governments and also just like trends and things like that. Like like even thought processes are like kind of all being recycled in a sense. 100%. So like, if you really just look at the core of what religion is and like what teachings there, like everything has that kind of a synergy. Like if you were to look at like the teachings of Christianity and then Buddhism and Muslims, like there's so many things that cross over. Mm-hmm. It's just how they deliver it is different. And
that's 100%. I think we love stories that have been told. Like I think humanity loves retelling stories. History repeats itself. Like I think it's like self-fulfilling prophecy. I think people like what they're familiar with.
But I do think the fact that we're progressing so much as a society, like, okay, we're progressing and we're digressing. I think there's a lot of things that are going on that are just distracting the whole of what's going on.
Yeah.
Because we're all just looking for stimulation of something to like give us purpose in this moment.
Oh, for sure.
And that will be stupid things like Andrew Tate. Like, why is that even substantial? Like, it really, but honestly, it's there's another aspect I had to think about. I just thought about today, which is before, like back in the day, there needed to be like this huge revolution in order for there to be change. Like there needed to be like, everyone stand together, like bare arms, let's go,
down with the king,
off with his head, like that kind of vibe. But now it's completely changed, where things are so easy to translate like a message that it no longer needs to get to that point, although we still do, but we're a bit more political with it, and we kind of see that there is a rippling effect. But it's so much of a rippling effect. You say one little thing this 2 years ago, it's going to spiral, and it's going to like, oh, you said that one thing, and now it's all this political correctness and all this sensitivity that's going on, and you went against this person and blah blah blah, and that means you can be painted in so many different ways that it's not even a reflection of who you are anymore, but it's created a beast of its own, and you're like having to kind of always be on that defensive, or like reestablish what you really believe in. So I think that's what's kind of like going on is that if you just allow the world to change, like you will be left behind, and you do need to speak up and have some sort of belief in something that you can stand for and be like, no, this is how I want something. More people are more outspoken about it, but by being outspoken, you're able to have kind of a say in where things could go. So it's like before it wasn't as much, and it would just be one or two outspoken people that would be behind it. But now there's so many more platforms of being like having a message and creating change through conversation and a perspective that creates that change in the future. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I think it's good that we're able to kind of like come together as a society and certain groups of protest in a much more kind of peaceful way, like rallying on social media behind a cause, and then a lot of times it can enact like legitimate change. Like if enough people get behind it, and it's like exposing video evidence or statistics that's like, this is like happening, and not enough people are talking about it because like the news stations won't report on it because it's too real, and it'll hurt whoever's funding them. But like people that are just on social media, it's like a give and take, because it's like it's really easy to enact change, or at least like provoke change. Because I mean, a lot of change that happens is just such like shallow bullshit. Like renaming Black Lives Matter Way in DC to Black Lives Matter Way is just like, what does that solve? Like that didn't do anything. It just changed the street name, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But also it's kind of a double-edged sword, like you're saying, because she's getting you. She's like, pet me, bro.
Like, hey, talk about those treats again. Oh no, this is actually how she gives me my supply of cat piss.
Oh, she's
like, it's that time of day where I need to.
It's time to fuel
my biceps with cat piss. But yeah, anyway.
But But I think it's dangerous too because people also rally behind things that they don't even know what they're talking about a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Like this whole Palestine-Israel conflict, that was a huge. I mean, it's obviously still a legitimate. It's ongoing, but at the time when it had just completely taken over social media for the course of a month, when these things just come and go, which is frustrating to me, just because like when it does kind of fade away from social media, people perceive the problem as being resolved, which I think is like a false narrative in itself. But people were just they were taking sides on it so heavily without knowing anything.
Yeah.
People were so incredibly pro-Israel, and people were so, pro-Palestine. And I remember I had put out a post, because that was before I even knew anything, right? I'm Jewish, so a lot of my family is like super pro-Israel, but like I'm not. I don't feel that strongly about it. I also know that there's like complications over Israel, and the argument itself was like there was like religious backing. There was kind of just there's so much going on. So I made a post on Instagram that was just like broad stroke. I'm not taking a stance on this right now until I know more, and I don't think other people should either until they know more about what's going on, and not just like from their friends, and not just like confirmation bias. You know what I mean? Like not just listening to the things that will kind of confirm what they already were thinking.
Yeah.
Like really diving into it and seeing what's up. And like the number of like aggressive responses that I got from both sides, truthfully, was like shocking. I was like, this is me being about as like, not even like indifferent or like
unbiased,
whatever. Like this is me just being like, I'm seeing a lot of things, and a lot of it doesn't seem like it's founded in any kind of evidence. Like, I'm taking a step back, and I'd recommend you do the same if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I had like 3 or 4 people block me, like straight up just block me, which was crazy to think about, because it's like, like what does that accomplish?
Yeah. Part of it is knowing when it's the right time to act and not react. And
reaction. Yeah,
because I think that's where people get so caught up into. They are acting in reaction.
Dude, she's so content, just like pressing you for attention, but like not actually like. Yeah, she's so funny.
Yeah, but what were we talking about?
Sorry, you're talking about reacting and knowing when the right time to react is.
Yeah. Do you have ADHD?
Kind of.
So I definitely have ADHD.
Yeah.
That was a very ADHD thing to do, though.
Yeah, no, I honestly think I do have it, but a lot of my anxiety came from me trying to repress it for so long. So when I feel more natural, like chilled out, I'm much more able to let my mind kind of do what it does.
Yeah.
But when I'm like,
what gets you relaxed?
Conversation like this is pretty good. Yeah, this feels nice and natural. Not weed. Tell you that right now. No stresses me out so much. I like alcohol though. Like a nice like cocktail I'll feel chill.
Any kind of cocktail. I don't drink, so I don't even know much about it.
You don't drink like at all? That makes sense.
Really don't.
Look at you. That makes perfect sense.
Other than cat piss, that's it.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
You and Katniss have such a dynamic, huh?
We're in sync. So like anything.
I think she was here before. I think she adopted you.
Yeah.
She was like, yes, you will be a nice project for me, human. I will turn you into the optimal being. Like she's like, I will turn you into the ultimate life form.
Honestly, there's times where I'll ask her if she thinks that I'm her baby or that she's my baby.
Yeah, no, you're definitely her baby.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? She's disciplining you. She's like, give me pets.
Yeah, she's like, actually, we're not at liberty to mention that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I love about it.
It was actually her business idea to do the Airbnb cat tower.
It really, I mean, she's very goal oriented. Yeah, and she kind of keeps me on track in a sense because if I'm just having like a day where I just want to be out in the rain listening to music, then she'll kind of reel me back in and be like, no, actually, we need to keep the lights on. We need to pay rent. Like this isn't just going to be happening by itself.
Yeah, she probably doesn't appreciate you being out there also in the rain. She's like, what are you doing, dude?
I just spend most of my days out there, and that's why she started the Airbnb. She's like, I need to make some sort of money somehow. Plus, it's like her way of trying to like let pets know that they also need to hold up their own weight in the household.
Yeah, real Andrew Tate of you. You listen to Andrew Tate. Why you give me the crazy eye? She's so funny. She just give me this like bombastic side eye.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she
needs more. She needs like her own camera. You should put a camera on the ground that captures like just what she's doing on the ground.
Yeah. And just focus on that mostly.
Yeah, like it's mostly like we're like in the background. It's just like her facial expressions. Yeah, she's funny.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what are you working on right now as an artist?
So tonight, I'm actually gonna be heading out of here in about 15. Mm-hmm. My guy Eric, Eric Dursturk, he's coming over. We're gonna do some video work on the next song that I'm dropping. Mm-hmm. I have a couple songs coming up that I'm really excited for. So we're going to be doing like a music video for the song that I dropped last, which was Fix. I dropped Fix on all platforms 2 months ago. Go stream Fix. Produced by myself, Patrick Zappia, and Sensu. Patrick is sick. I told you yesterday he had a collab with Linkin Park recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my guy Patrick in LA. They're all in LA. I wish I could be in LA. But
why aren't you in LA?
Money. Like I just don't like. I don't know. First of all, I really like walkable areas. Like I very much like walking. Like I haven't used my car in like almost a week. I had to drive here, but like besides that, I just walked to Bethesda. It has everything I need, which is great. I can almost walk to DC, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here much longer. I almost moved to New York City, but I couldn't find a job that would like justify it. Cause like newsflash, I'm like not like affording life off just music right now, so I have to like work another job. Luckily,
what do you do?
Yeah, so I do event production. So I do like audio and video installation. So it's not like completely away from what I do. I run a soundboard or whatever. But that's the breadwinner. Music is nice as like a passive income, because all these songs that I have production on, I don't have to do anything else with them. They just bring me money. So like every couple weeks I'll check in the bank and I have nice little check for me waiting. It's nice. Like, oh yeah, people listen to music. That's cool.
Yeah. With TuneCore?
DistroKid mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, DistroKid. I use Too Lost.
What's that?
Too Lost. It was started up by Gregory Ross. It's a distribution platform, much like DistroKid or whatever. But
what's the benefit of it? Like, why that one?
I'm a priority artist for them. I was one of the first artists that they kind of brought onto their platform. So they kind of, I'm kind of privileged with some things that not everyone gets when they sign up for it. They kind of hooked me up with some playlisting situations. Depending on like the lead up to the song, if it's doing really well, they can pitch me to editorials and stuff. But I mean, the thing about it is these days, like almost everything is dependent on your social presence. So that's the thing about like a label. Like I used to be like, oh, I gotta find these labels so they can give me money so I can do these things. But like now it's like, if you get signed with a label, they're gonna tell you to do one thing: make content.
Yeah. I
have two friends that just got signed to Epitaph, which is like I think it's a Columbia subsidiary. I think it's like
a branch off of it.
I think it's within Columbia, or I'm tripping. It's somewhere else. But two of my good homies just got signed to Epitaph, and which is great for them. They have access to like content teams that can do cooler stuff. That's like makes it a little easier on them. But generally speaking, it's just like, okay, cool. Now go make TikToks. Until you have a following on TikTok, and then also make reels until you have a following on Instagram, and then we can kind of talk. But that's basically it. That's why like I've been spending so much energy on content. It's just like it's free, basically
free promo.
Yeah, and it's like easy to make. It doesn't have to be super complicated. A lot of the content that goes viral is the ones that like aren't complicated. It's like really straightforward, easy to consume stuff.
Dude, to be honest, the bands that were doing like making viral content were like the Beatles. Like back in the day, like they were doing things that like that picture of the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is such a viral thing. They took all the public figures in it and they all just stood there. Like they took the idea of virality and that was that version of it back then.
It's like shock value.
Yeah, just something to get people to be like, oh, that one artist and that one person, they're just putting it all together and they're saying, we're in this. Like, that's kind of very cocky of them to even say that.
Yeah.
We're amongst the biggest people, which they are. And that's kind of how they also made their stamp, is they've just made such timeless music.
Yeah.
Which actually, they were one of my favorite bands growing up. That was one of my biggest influences.
Same. Abbey Road was like everything to me, dude. Oh my god. Golden Showers was just like such an insane. That's the name of the song, right?
I actually haven't heard the Golden Showers one.
Is it called Golden Showers? That's like what you
Purple
call
Rain.
piss.
Is that what you?
No.
But I do.
Golden Sun.
Yes, I've heard Golden Sun.
The Sun King song.
I haven't heard that song. I don't know. Maybe
Really?
I haven't.
What?
Yeah, maybe I haven't.
Bro, that song is crazy.
But I used to listen to the they had a Beatles movie called The Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, I havenn't seen it.
Yeah, that one was so cool.
I bet it was really good.
No, that one was a story. It was just an entire movie about their album.
Yeah.
What was the song called?
So there's two songs I was thinking of, and I combined them. So Sun King is one. That is crazy. It's on Abbey Road.
Okay.
It's a really crazy, creepy song. I think it's creepy, at least. And then Golden Slumbers, not Showers. Golden Slumbers.
I haven't heard that one either.
You definitely have.
We can't play it on the pod.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean we can't.
Cut that.
I mean we definitely can't play copyrighted music.
I just like play it. It's just Melo Relo. We just like
it's actually your music. That's how we get fans. We just say, I just found the new Beatles song,
and then this is me. Yeah.
But yeah. So this has been any closing words? Anything that you want the fans to know about you?
No, this has been sick. This is fun. I like talking about life with you. It's been fun. I'm glad I ran into you yesterday. That was really, really random, but
definitely
sparked some good collaboration. And hopefully going forward, you know.
And honestly, it's more about like we're really getting to know each other too through this. And, and that's what I love about it, is just like it's as a way to do the thing that we both want to do, which was make contact, push our brand. And also network, and it's all happening right here, live in action. Yeah,
it's a world premiere.
It is, but
I mean, as far as final words, you know, Fix is out now, so go stream that on platforms.
All the platforms,
every single one.
And music video.
There's a music video that I am probably filming today, actually. So you can expect that. This is the first time anyone knows about that. You can expect that coming. I have a show coming up, June 29th. I would recommend following on Instagram. It's like a DM for address kind of show. So it's like it's kind of a DIY
warehouse.
It's like a garage.
It's illegal.
It's highly scandalous.
Okay.
So, so follow me on Instagram at Melo Relo, MELO DM me if you saw the podcast. I'm excited to see who sees this, and hopefully we get a lot of cool shorts out of it.
Definitely.
Hopefully we got some fun sound bites.
We got some interesting ones. I know we have, especially with the cat piss.
Yeah. People are going to be like, what in the hell is going on with that?
The main theme there. People are going to be making their own shirts.
Cat piss gains.
Katniss cat piss.
Katniss gains.
Yeah.
I wish you would jump up on my lap. I want to show you off to the cam.
She's not much of a lap, but maybe you could get her into it. Let's see, because she does speak Portuguese, Japanese, and English. If she lets you do this, this is gonna be. Oh, but she did like that though.
Is that mama? Is it booty pats?
Yeah, she loves booty pats.
Yeah, booty pats.
But thank you guys. We only have like 10% on this phone on this one.
Thank you guys.
But I really appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you guys are looking to support us on Patreon, it's gonna be in the link below. This is really just all crowdfunded, so we definitely appreciate your contribution. And there's also great perks for producers, artists, behind the scenes, sample packs, stuff like that. Go check it out on the Patreon in the description below. So I will catch you guys on the next one, and stay tuned. We got a lot of new music coming out, lots of great collaborations, and maybe even a part 2, which would be really sweet. So
comment for a part 2.
Yeah.
Drop some cat emojis
or green hearts. green hearts.
We like green hearts too. Yeah.
All right. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.